Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader and tonight we're going to focus on the vision of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past decade and more, looking into the future in the upcoming presidential term and building the new republic for Egypt and the Egyptian on the basis of sustainable development for the upcoming generation and towards a dignified life for the children of Egypt. And we will be starting straight away with the main top stories for today. And of course, they come through the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the activities of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave on Sunday directives over the necessity of continuous work to alleviate the burdens on the shoulders of the citizens and to ensure the availability of the commodity supplies in affordable prices nationwide. This came at a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and the Minister of Supply and Domestic Trade, Dr. Sharif Farouk, and the Executive Director of the Egypt Future Authority for Sustainable Development, Brigadier General Baha El-Ghannam. The presidential spokesman said that the meeting discussed securing strategic stocks of the food supplies in coordination with the Egypt Future Authority. He said that the meeting stressed the need to provide the safe amounts of various food commodities, continuing with the efforts to raise the strategic reserves, especially with the approach of the holy month of Ramadan. He said that during the meeting, Sisi stressed that the presidential initiatives are implemented to serve the most needy brackets. And still with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who on Sunday extended hearty greetings to the Egyptian people, marking the anniversary of the night journey of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is known as Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. In a post on his official social media account, the President called upon Almighty Allah to preserve Egypt, its people, and the blessings of peace and security that they enjoy. The President also greeted the Arab and Muslim nations, wishing them many happy returns on the day. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on Sunday said that the restoration of the glory of the Egyptian media leader, Maspero, is a dream for all the Egyptians, asserting his support to the efforts to turn it into a reality. Meeting with the National Media Authority head Ahmed El-Mislimani, the Prime Minister reviewed the work files of the previous period. Dr. Madbouli appreciated the great role of the Egyptian media in building awareness in the society, transmitting and clarifying facts, refuting false reports over certain issues and files, as well as shedding light on the challenges facing the state. The National Media Authority head said that serious endeavors are ongoing to upgrade work inside Maspero, with the aim of providing a special media mission that copes with the massive achievements of the state in different fields, and that also suits the huge challenges that the state faces. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli had witnessed the launch of the Charity Week initiatives and the activities in Al-Asmarat of Cairo on Sunday. Addressing the event, he said the Charity Week is an example for the partnership between the state and the civil society institutions. He said that the event aims at providing aid to 20,000 Egyptian families. Also in Al-Asmarat, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli announced the launch of the biggest aid convoy to the Gaza Strip. Dr. Madbouli said that the convoy is being launched by the Long Live Egypt Fund. He added that Egypt continues to support the brotherly Arab peoples, notably the Palestinian people. The convoy consists of 305 trucks with 4,200 tons of aid that include medical supplies, medicines, ambulances, dried food, canned food, mineral water, clothes, blankets, carpets, detergents, personal health and safety materials, baby milk and food. And we will be heading to the first report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the presidential activities of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi over the past week. All in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from the Austrian Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi followed up on the latest developments in the projects of the Egyptian Future Authority for Sustainable Development. President al-Sisi congratulates President Donald Trump on taking the constitutional oath as President of the United States of America. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received Mr. Arsenio Dominguez, the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi receives a phone call from the Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi participated in the Police Day celebrations and laid a wreath of flowers on the Police Martyrs Memorial at the Police Academy in New Cairo. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received Somali President Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohammed at the Ittihadiyya Palace, where an official reception ceremony was held. On the occasion of International Education Day, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, through his official Facebook page, reiterates the importance of education as a basic human right and a fundamental pillar for achieving sustainable development and building advanced societies. On the occasion of the Egyptian Police Day, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi delivers a speech and congratulates the people and the police.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and we will be heading to another report for the episode for tonight, focusing on 10 years of development and building towards the new republic according to the vision of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi over the past decade, and looking for more achievements in the new presidential term. We'll be having more details in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Egypt's new republic vision is a transformative development path led by President Fattah al-Sisi, aimed at modernizing the nation and addressing long-standing economic, social and infrastructure challenges. This vision seeks to build a modern state capable of achieving sustainable development while improving the quality of life for its citizens. President Sisi emphasized on many occasions the necessity of making a lot of efforts to rehabilitate infrastructure that enables the state to move to better horizons. In fact, development has included all sectors of the state and has achieved record numbers. The new administrative capital is a flagship project that creates a modern administrative and economic hub. The NAC includes smart city technology, government headquarters, residential areas and financial districts. A road and transportation advanced network has been implemented through expansion of highways and bridges to improve connectivity across Egypt. Initiatives include the development of high-speed rail monorail systems and modernized public transportation. Also, the Decent Life Initiative is a comprehensive program targeting rural areas, aiming to improve living standards through infrastructure, healthcare, education and housing projects. Through structural reforms, implementation of fiscal and monetary reforms achieved to stabilize the economy, attract foreign direct investment and encourage private sector participation. Establishment of specialized economic zones such as the Suez Canal Economic Zone to boost manufacturing and export-oriented industries. Digital transformation helped to attract more investments in technology to digitize government services and promote innovation in sectors like fintech and e-commerce. Regarding social welfare and healthcare, the state adopted the universal health insurance system, a phased rollout of healthcare reforms to ensure universal access to quality medical services. While Egypt's initiatives under the new republic have garnered international attention and substantial progress, challenges persist. These initiatives collectively reflect Egypt's ambition to transition into a more prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable nation.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me over the program for tonight in the studio Dr. Nevine Nakhla, the Professor of Strategic Management. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Thank you. I'm very honored.
The honor is all mine. Of course, we have seen the definition of the new republic for Egypt over the past 10 years, over the past decade, under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. But how would you see the achievements of Egypt's new republic under the tenure of President al-Sisi for the past decade, and of course looking into the future of the presidential new term?
Yes, the last 10 years, His Excellency, our beloved President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, has put the vision, Egypt Vision 2030, and he started the new government and the new era. And we saw that a lot of initiatives, a lot of big things and big projects took place during the last 10 years on different aspects and on different projects and different things in the whole country.
Yes.
We saw the different initiatives for the health of the Egyptians.
Yes.
Hepatitis C, complete solving the problem of hepatitis C.
Yes.
And the 100 million health initiative and the national health insurance, and which started in Port Said. So many things in the health sector, a lot in the education sector, a lot in the infrastructure of Egypt. We were living on around 7% of the land around the River Nile for so many decades. Today we're living on double this area. This is all investment.
Just 10 or 11 years.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a miracle. Very, very big vision and a dream coming true every day on different aspects. If we saw the education, and if you can imagine the education in Egypt during the COVID, if we didn't have this reform of education and digitizing and having the online for even the furthest rural area in Upper Egypt or
Yes.
in Delta. So on the aspect of education, a lot on aspect of green energy, environmental. We saw that the new government had the 3 pillars of environmental, social, and sustainable development and economical. So it's a big roadmap.
Yes.
We've seen it from scratch. We saw places, desert, with no water, no electricity, and today you have a new city, the smart cities, the new capital city, and other cities all over Egypt in different governorates like Mansoura, etc. A lot has taken place, and we are very proud of our Egypt and of our presidential vision and all the ministers and all the political will.
Yes, Doctor, you mentioned the big aspects, the big headlines that we have seen over the past decade, but I would like to focus more on the vision, because you mentioned that there was a vision by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past 10 years, and we are looking forward as citizens to be seeing what will be happening, what impressive achievements will be happening in the upcoming new presidential term, or the current presidential term as well. But I would like to focus on the pace of achievements, the speed of achievements that we have had. You've mentioned in education and infrastructure, building new cities, smart cities, the digital transformation, everything all at once, everywhere here in Egypt. But how impressive was the pace of this transformation?
The transformation was amazing. The pace was very quick. People at the beginning, 10 years ago, you would listen to people saying it's a dream. Let them dream.
Yes.
But when you go with the new monorail to the new capital city, and you see all the new ministers moved over there, and if you go to the new economical and hub in Suez Canal, for example, the new logistic hubs, if you see the Decent Life initiative and how transformed the lives of millions of Egyptians from under the line of poverty and to a decent life.
Yes.
The vision of Egypt 2030 and the new government, as we said, it's three pillars: economical, social, and environmental.
Yes.
And also, His Excellency really focused on the human being and on the capacity building. And we saw the last initiative, which is called Bidaya, the new beginning, and how he focused on education, and he focused about the human being capacity building and growing. Even in this, the pace was very high.
Yes.
If we saw the fiber optics in the Decent Life initiatives, it's also a dream come true. In these villages which didn't have water, electricity, infrastructure, no schools, no hospitals, today they have a decent life, they have equality, and bridged the gap between the city and the governorates which are far away, especially the governorates which are on the borders of Egypt.
Yes.
So the pace was very fast. Very strategically with phases. The most important thing is the KPIs that was set from the beginning, and the most important thing was the evaluation and control and monitoring in each phase and in each step. Also the dedication of the work and the distribution of the work to different ministries. We saw a unique collaboration between ministries, collaboration between officials and between the whole political will. We saw the ministers of development and economic reform, how they really, and the minister of planning, how they really made what you say, like a collaborative plan, not like old age when islands. No one is talking to each other. They're not talking, they're not planning together. Each one is doing something, the other one is coming to fix it. No, we don't have this anymore. It's a very solid plan and implemented, and we saw it on the ground. I mean, it's not talking I had foreigners with me last Thursday, and they were amazed by the infrastructure, the widened streets, the bridges, the connectivity between the new capital city and the 6th of October. Now you can go in 30 minutes or even 20 minutes.
Used to take 2 hours, for example.
It used to take 3 hours.
Yes.
We used to come from Alexandria to Cairo in 3 hours.
Less than that.
And another
Yes.
3 hours to go from Alexandria to the airport. Now this is history. The connectivity of our country and the clean energy, the green energy. Even if we look in the Decent Life Initiative, we have the green villages. Which there are 20 green villages and acknowledged by international bodies like the United Nations, and we are acknowledged internationally with all what is going on the ground in reality. It's not talking, it is not a dream, it is a strategic plan, it is a vision, Egypt Vision 2030, it's the new government. It's not a logo on our TV channels. No, it is hard work and a lot of things paid for this hard work to stand today after 10 years proudly saying Egypt had made it. We succeeded, and the rest is yet to come.
Yes, Doctor, you've raised a very significant point, which is the significance of having the infrastructure development that we have had over the past 10 years or more under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, because it affected everyone here in Egypt. It affected education, transportation,
training,
everything for the Egyptians and for the foreigners as well. How important was it to be starting with the focus on the development of infrastructure, building thousands of kilometers of roads, bridges, new cities, smart cities, all at the same time? How important was it to be starting with this?
The infrastructure impact and importance is a must. It's a cornerstone. You cannot think of economic development when you don't have the roads, when you don't have the tunnels, when you don't have the bridges, when you don't have the connectivity.
Yes.
For example, the new electric train, it is going to connect 60 cities in Egypt.
And we used to waste a lot of time going from one place to another.
Productivity, effort. How can you imagine that you want foreign direct investment to come and invest in the country when you don't have connectivity? So the infrastructure was very essential. Infrastructure, roads, monorail, metros, undergrounds, speed trains. Now you can connect even trading by trains, by roads. Our location in Egypt is a gift from God.
Yes.
And without the inner connectivity in our country, we were losing the opportunity and losing this gift.
Yes.
By ruining it with not having connectivity. We are connected between the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. We are the hub and the connection, Asia, Europe, Africa. So our location and our strength in the location had this was a must, I mean. To have this connectivity, it reduces, as we said, time, effort, connectivity. Also, Egypt is turning into the clean and the green energy and the clean and the green transportation. So reducing 70% of the carbon emission by these new urbanizing and all the infrastructure, also not only the roads but also the fiber optics, also the sanitation, the water, the electricity, it's good things happening.
Yes, one of the good things that we have seen as well under the tenure of President Sisi in the past decade was the vision of having not just the new Suez economic or the new Suez Canal, but we have the Suez Canal economic zone on the lines of the new Suez Canal, and of course in different governorates as well, Ismailia, Port Said and Suez. How important was it to be having this vision for this specific field and this geographical area of Egypt for the economic benefit of the country?
Of course, logistic hubs and ports, dry ports and seaports, it's very important for our location. Yes. And for our being the logistic hub of the area, and the bridge and to Africa also. So it is very important. It is a must, and we've done it with pride. We've done it on the spots that should have these logistic hubs.
We had planning.
Of course, yes. Very good planning. And I want to tell you the location of the new administration, the new capital city, the location between the old Cairo and the place of factories and the Suez Canal.
Yes.
This was not by coincidence. This is planning, and very well planning. This is definitely, we are going to see a lot of trading, a lot of economic enhancement and economic growth from these logistic hubs and from these ports, dry ports and seaports.
Yes, Doctor, allow me to be going to the other report of the daily debate for tonight, focusing on the development agenda of the political leadership under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the past decade and into the current presidential term as being a priority for building the new republic. We'll be having more details in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.
Development agenda is a top priority for the Egyptian state under the new republic. Minister of Planning, Economic Development and International Cooperation Rania al-Mashot said that over the past 10 years, the government has implemented several important development initiatives aimed at attracting investment and benefiting citizens. One of the most notable initiatives is Decent Life Initiative, which targets the most vulnerable groups in society. Al-Mashot added during a discussion session titled Development in Egypt, Future Prospects that one of the state's key priorities is building human capital through initiatives related to education and health. The minister mentioned several significant presidential initiatives such as Hepatitis C Eradication Initiative and the 100 Million Healthy Lives Initiative. Mashot noted that discussions about finding the most appropriate development path for the country have garnered academic attention and sparked debate, with these issues playing a crucial role in development studies. She explained that these studies examine which development priorities should take precedence and how to achieve balance among different development dimensions, especially during the state reconstruction phase. Mashot emphasized that these countries have achieved significant development milestones and that no single development model is universally applicable. Any model must be implemented with consideration of its specific context. Furthermore, she explained that the Egyptian government is continuing to implement the National Program for Economic and Structural Reform, which aims to enhance the competitiveness of the Egyptian economy, improve the business environment, and bolster the economy's resilience against external shocks. This program also supports a green transition and paves the way for comprehensive and sustainable development.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Dr. Nevine Nakhla, the Professor of Strategic Management. Thank you very much once again for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate. We have seen the statements of the Minister, Dr. Rania al-Mashot, the Minister of Planning and Economic Development. How do you see the importance of focusing on the Decent Life Initiative, not just for the Egyptians living in certain villages, about 3,000 or 4,000 villages within the country, but for the whole of the country.
Yes. The Decent Life Initiative is the biggest ever in the world human initiative that is supporting people is the Decent Life Initiative of Egypt.
Yes.
It was targeting 60 million people, around 50% of the population of Egypt.
Yes.
For equality, for decent life, for human development and capacity building. It is very important in the lives of Egypt. As we were saying, it is infrastructure, it is education, it is health, polyclinics, hospitals, delivering the same services of the city delivered to everywhere. Also, not only education, not only clean water, electricity, as we said, fiber optics, it is job creation for people in their villages, the digitizing and the training. We saw the Ministry of Communication and Technology, they have made a lot of initiatives for youth and women in these areas.
Yes.
We have seen the Minister of Youth and Sports made a lot of initiatives for youth in these areas. We have seen the Minister of Planning and Economic Development have done a lot of initiatives, and of course the the Ministry of Social Solidarity, with all the training, with all the SMEs projects, with all the empowerment of women. Every minister has contributed in the big plan for the Decent Life Initiative, to the extent that the Ministry of Culture now they have libraries and librarians in these rural, small, was underserved.
Yes. Not anymore.
Not anymore villages.
Yes.
The villages that are on the way to enter into the Decent Life Initiative, if you go, you find they don't have clean water, no electricity, no ceiling. They don't have ceramic on the ground. They are on mud. So this was heartbreaking. And of course, their health was not okay because they're not drinking good water. So you have all. So how can you imagine the percentage of productivity of people, the productivity of children to be educated? A lot of children in these villages were not educated. Even if they go to school, they don't know how to read and write. The quality of education is completely changed.
Yes.
So, of course, one of the biggest initiatives that we are very proud of is the Decent Life Initiative, and it took a lot of resources from Egypt. It took a lot of spending, a lot of money, because changing the mindset of the people in these villages, that they are waiting for the carton of rice and oil and
every
flour
year maybe, or
every Ramadan, but they are not waiting anymore. They are making their future. They are educating their kids, and a lot of opportunities for jobs on the ground. A lot of small SMEs, small projects for women and youth are taking place, like sun-dried tomatoes, pomegranate, plantations, recycling. So this is a fatal and a very important, proud of initiative. One of the things
yes.
one of the pillars.
Yes, another pillar that we need to be focusing on when we speak about the new republic is the health sector here in Egypt. How do you see the efforts that were exerted to be having a better sector for health here for the Egyptians, and more specifically the universal health insurance system for the Egyptians?
It's amazing because we used to have, in very old age, we used to have the waiting line for people to be served and to have the operations, very, very serious operations. The line was very big. People would stay for months and months to operate or to have their medicine. This is not anymore. We were one of the biggest countries in hepatitis C. This is not the case anymore. Even the women's health, the breast cancer, and the checking and serving of women health in general, the mother and child health, also very significant, the availability of the milk, the baby milk, and the availability of all the vaccines. The health sector in Egypt was completely taken care of, and we have no problems now. It is all under control and all under monitoring and all under serving in all over Egypt, not only in the city but in the furthest part of Egypt. The health is taken care of. Of course, the new national health system has been implemented in different governorates, and we saw how cleverly implemented in Port Said, for example, serving everyone, who can afford paying can pay, but who can't afford paying will get the same, exactly the same service and the same medicine and the same service, the same quality of service. So it's fairness, and no one is left behind. This is the slogan of the new government. No one is left behind. No one is left behind in health, in education, in everything. And,
and education, you mentioned a very important point. It's not just about having education and having the children at the schools. We need to be having better quality. Do we have that now?
Yes, it's getting better in the quality of education, in the system of evaluation, and in the teachers' capacity building also for teachers, especially in rural areas and in faraway governorates. Also, the most important thing is in the new government is the governance between the whole system. Every ministry and every person, each one, he knows where responsibilities and accountability.
And there's cooperation as well between the ministries, different ministries.
Exactly, exactly.
On the other hand, we have seen education, the quality education. We had the transportation sector, the health sector. We have focused on everything. But you mentioned at the beginning of the episode that we had a number of friends from outside of Egypt, and they took notice of how the roads have changed, the bridges, the cities, the new capital, everything that we have had here over the past 10 years. Of course, the Egyptians, they are feeling, they are seeing what is happening, but people from outside of Egypt, they are taking notice as well. Can this mean that we will be having more foreign direct investments, more partnerships, when they see that we have quality places to be investing in?
Yes. Stability, political stability, and growth in the economic way, and in the roads, in the connectivities, in the logistic hubs. This definitely invites foreign direct investment and invites people to come. We saw a lot of factories are opening in Port Said for garments and for clothes, for example. a lot of electronics and a lot of technology factories. Foreigners, they are coming to open factories. Don't forget that also our people are very smart. Egyptians are technology oriented. All the courses and all the initiatives for digital transformation and for education of high tech and AI and even for children.
We have a young population too.
Exactly. Very young population. Our median age of the whole country is 24 years old.
Yes.
So, and not only young population ill or uneducated, no, young population.
Healthy.
Healthy, educated, knowledgeable, smart, and technology oriented. So this is inviting a lot of foreign investment, inviting a lot of factories, new factories to open in Egypt, and of course our geographical location is allowing us to be the gateway for Africa, Europe, Asia. So, and also, as we said, connecting the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea, the Suez Canal with the industrial areas, and having the new capital city in the middle with all the good things, all the ministries, all the embassies, all the even residential. So I mean.
Yes, of
it
course.
Is the right.
This is the new republic as well.
The new republic.
Yes. Dr. Nevine Nakhla, the Professor of Strategic Management, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Thank you very much.
Anytime. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.